Kylie Rae Harris fell in love with music at an early age, as her family used to take trips to the East Texas Pines, where she was exposed to the strong songwriting of Texan artists like Radney Foster and Jerry Jeff Walker. And at the age of 12, after joining the church choir, she told her parents that she knew music was what she wanted to do in life. At 14, she wrote her first song. From then on, Kylie Rae chose to pursue a career in music without looking back. For better or for worse, things got worse when she fell into an abusive relationship, but she freed herself to become a highly respected songwriter, an artist in Texas and beyond. "Music has always been in me," Kylie Rae said in one of her early press releases. "I have to do this. This is all or nothing for me. I'm going to be writing and singing music for the rest of my life, whether I'm broke or not, so I might as well go for it." In 2011, she starred in a syndicated series called Troubadour, TX, which followed a group of singers and songwriters trying to make it in Texas, while facing the daily challenges of working as troubadours. With strong songwriting influences like Walt Wilkins and Patty Griffin, Kylie Rae released her first EP, Taking It Back, in 2013, which put her on the radar of Texas music, which is often criticized for not including enough women. Based on that release, she won the 2014 Female Vocalist of the Year award from the Texas Regional Radio Music Awards. Following that, her career took a pause when she and her then-boyfriend, Oklahoma-based fiddler Jeremy Watkins, welcomed their daughter Corby in February 2013. Kylie and her daughter were inseparable and often shared photos and videos of Corby on social media, and even named a clothing line after her. Her daughter also became the inspiration for what many believe to be her best song, and one of the best songs released so far in 2019, called 20 Years From Now, which she dedicated to her 6-year-old daughter, and was featured on her EP released in March 2019. 20 Years From Now. My prayer is that somehow you'll forgive all the mistakes I've made and feel proud of the choices I've made. God, I hope I'm still around, Kylie Rae wrote. She lost her father to cancer, and said she wrote the song because she realized that some children don't get to know their parents as adults. "It scared me to think that it was totally possible that I could be gone before my daughter reached that point," she told Billboard at the time. "I want to meet my kids' kids. Getting to the age that your parents were when you were a child brings a lot of perspective, tragically early. So would be your life." Her life was cut short on September 4, 2019. That day began as a special one for Kylie Rae, as she embarked on her more than 500-mile journey from her home in Wylie, Texas, to Taos, New Mexico, to perform at the Big Barn Dance Music Festival. It was an especially nostalgic trip, as Kylie Rae planned to revisit old childhood landmarks along the way that were significant after her father's death. The trip started pleasantly that September day, with Kylie Rae posting several videos on her Instagram story while driving. In one of the videos, she appeared cheerfully singing along to the radio behind the wheel. A few hours earlier, she had jokingly posted that she was running out of gas and 36 miles, 58 kilometers, from the nearest gas station. "Dear baby Jesus, please don't let me get stranded in NM, she tweeted. In a video geolocated in New Mexico hours before her death, she also commented optimistically. She also posted an emotional video message on her Instagram story hours before the accident. "I look a mess because I've been crying," she said. "But it's okay, it's a good cry." Although she said she loved the music festival, she said traveling to Taos was hard, because many of her relatives, who lived there had passed away. In one of the videos she posted, Kylie Rae said something that many people found chilling. "Literally, everyone who was here has passed away, except my uncle, including my dad," she said. She said she had been driving for 12 hours, but you would think that this is so exhausting and boring, but like in the last 2 hours driving through the mountains and just remembering my place in the back seat, I started to get really sad, she said. Little did she know that she would die in that same town she was talking about in the video just a few hours later. Around 7:30 p.m., Kylie Rae was traveling south on State Road 522 in a black Chevrolet Equinox, probably still reminiscing about family memories. For unknown reasons, she rear-ended a black Chevrolet Avalanche. The impact initially sent Kylie Rae's vehicle into the northbound traffic lane, where it then collided head-on with a white 2008 Jeep that was traveling north on SR 522 at that time. Inside the car was Maria Elena Cruz, a 16-year-old honor student in her sophomore year at Taos High School. Near mile marker 1, the roads curved dramatically and visibility decreased. Traveling at extreme speeds, Kylie Rae's Chevrolet Equinox suddenly veered into the oncoming lane. Her SUV collided head-on at a catastrophic speed with Cruz's car. The impact was so violent that both cars were destroyed beyond recognition. The vehicle following them then collided with the already destroyed vehicles. Heartbreakingly, one of the first responders on the scene was Pedro Cruz, Maria's father and the deputy chief of the San Cristobal Volunteer Fire Department. He drove to the scene in Taos on September 4 without knowing that his 16-year-old daughter, Maria Elena Cruz, had been killed in the accident. The Taos County Sheriff shared that he is an EMT, so it's not unusual for him to go out on calls, both medical and accidents and other things, but it was very traumatic for him not to know, but to respond anyway and then find out that it was his little girl. After seeing the horrific scene, both Kylie Rae and Maria Elena Cruz, 16, were pronounced dead at the scene. According to authorities, the other driver was not seriously injured in the accident. Immediately after the accident, the sheriff shared that investigators suspected that speed and alcohol could have been factors in the accident. At this time, I will say with certainty that Ms. Cruz was an innocent victim of this senseless crash caused by Ms. Harris, he said in a statement shortly after the incident. 2 months later, on December 5, 2019, the autopsy report was released. The results concluded that Kylie Rae died from blunt force trauma as a result of the high-speed accident that occurred on September 4 in New Mexico, and also resulted in the death of 16-year-old Maria Elena Cruz. Additionally, toxicology tests concluded that Kylie Rae had a blood alcohol concentration of 0.28, more than 3 times the legal limit, when she collided with the oncoming vehicle driven by Cruz. The Taos County Sheriff's Office confirmed that Kylie Rae was driving at 102 miles per hour, 164 kilometers per hour, when she rear-ended a vehicle before colliding with Cruz's vehicle at 95 miles per hour, 153 kilometers per hour. Braking was indicated 0.3 of a second before impact, according to a statement from the Taos County Sheriff's Office, which previously reported that all 3 drivers were wearing seatbelts. The now completed investigation supports what we suspected at the time of our initial investigation, and my previous press release indicating that alcohol consumption was suspected and speed was a factor, said Sheriff Jerry Hogrefe in a statement. The New Mexico Office of the Medical Investigator stated in the autopsy report that Kylie Rae suffered abrasions to the face and legs, as well as multiple fractured bones. A post-mortem CT scan showed multiple broken skull bones, an abnormal collection of air in the skull, bleeding inside the brain, and a broken neck. The sternum, multiple ribs, and the pelvis were also broken, according to the documents. Court records show that Kylie Rae was convicted in June 2017 for driving while intoxicated with a blood alcohol concentration, BAC, exceeding 0.15, nearly double the legal limit of 0.08. The singer was fined $4,610 for the offense, and the judge ordered that an ignition interlock device be installed in her car, which required her to take a breathalyzer test before driving. In 2014, Kylie Rae was also fined $32 for speeding after being caught driving 81 miles per hour in a 60 miles per hour zone in Dallas. She also had a troubled history with law enforcement, being charged in 2009 with assault with a deadly weapon, which resulted in her being placed on probation for 3 years. Although the sheriff's office blames Kylie Rae for the accident, her mother, Betsy Cohen, came out to defend her daughter's image. Betsy Cohen told People that Kylie Rae struggled with alcohol in the years leading up to her death in an accident that investigators suspect caused the accident in the first place. Cohen told People that alcohol was something Kylie struggled with from time to time over the years, although she refused to provide more details out of respect for both families. According to police records, Rae had a DWI in 2017 with a blood alcohol level that exceeded 0.15, which resulted in the installation of an ignition interlock in her car. She had a prior speeding citation in 2014 for going 81 miles per hour, 130 kilometers per hour, in a 60 miles per hour, 96 kilometers per hour zone. Although details of dangerous driving emerged, the family and friends focused on honoring Kylie Rae's legacy rather than her tragic death. A GoFundMe campaign was created to raise money for Harris's funeral expenses and her daughter's college education. A separate GoFundMe page was also created to raise money for the funeral expenses of Maria Elena Cruz, the other victim of the accident.